Morning everybody, Rusty from the Rusty Razor. Got another shave of the day. And today we're going to be using this. Well, Old Spice original cream. It's from India. It was like Glenn Haley was using it the other day, and I watched his video last night when I had time. It's been an interesting weekend. And I seen this, I'm like, I got to use this. It's like it's been parked up on the shelf for a while, so my first time I used this, all the scent was below. It's like after I squeezed a bunch out, it was able. Now it smells like Old Spice, but yeah, there we go. It's a cream. Squeeze it out and lather it up. And let me tell you, I put a good amount in here, and look at this. This is like this whole bowl is just full. It just smells like Old Spice. Smells good. And since we're using Old Spice, and my dad was a huge Old Spice guy, I'm going to be using first use Astra blades here with his 1960 Gillette Fatboy. Yeah, my dad was a big Old Spice guy, still is. It's like even when he uses electric shaver, he throws on Old Spice. And we're going to be using Old Spice Original. Yeah, the stuff from way back. So, yeah, smells like Old Spice. So there we go. Wow, how's your day going? I am tired, I'm sore, cranky, but yeah, it's like slept in a hotel Saturday night because we went to a wedding. Whew. And I woke up Sunday morning, it was like I couldn't breathe, my nose was stuffed up, and I was like, it's like from here to here. It's like my whole side of my head is just like, yeah, it's taking a muscle relaxer, trying to help out. Not really. Pain pills, not helping. But it could be worse, considering how the weekend went. Yeah, I got all ready. I was all packed up, getting ready for the next day, because Saturday we were going to travel to the wedding. Because I'd mentioned it before. It's like my cousin's daughter. I guess she'd be my second cousin, but yeah, they're getting married, and so I was like, I'll the whole family was going to go. My brother, it's supposed to be four other brothers were, five other brothers. Everybody was supposed to be there. But the best laid plans sometimes go awry. And remember, I'll try to put a picture in the very beginning. Now, some of you individuals that will watch this are friends with me on Facebook, so you've seen the post of what happened. But let's just say there was a major disaster. Friday afternoon, my mom and brother, my youngest brother, he's 35, still lives at home. Yeah, that's a story for another day, but and went in the morning, I took some animals to the sales barn and sold them at auction, made a bunch of money. They have an overstock of animals right now. And then they're on their way back. They stopped at the store and the feed mill and picked up some feed and groceries and stuff. So it was a pretty long day already for my mom, who happens to be 80 years old and driving. Okay, I've said many times. Now, my mother-in-law is 80, gonna be 86 in November, like a week before my mom's next birthday. But she still drives, but you know, she only drives around town, short little trips like to Walmart and back, or to the pharmacy to get her drugs. So she's not taking long trips. She knows she can't do long trips. She's just I'm just don't have the attention span anymore. But you know, a quick 5-minute trip to the store and back is not an issue. But you know, my mom was like driving over an hour one direction in the morning, and then doing all the stops and everything. Let's just put it this way. Ooh. Yes, I've still got the problem with the stomach, but whew. Hopefully one of these days it will. I was just talking to my buddy this morning about that, which I'll get to in a second. But let's get on with the disaster weekend. But they were driving back, and they got a load of feed in the back end and groceries in the, because they got a 2003 F-150 Lariat. I had a 2005, almost identical. There's my previous truck, my 2000, was the same generation of that one, but they were coming home about 1.5 miles or so from the house. Basically, it's like coming down this steep incline, because they live in a valley up in northeast Iowa. And they were coming down. There's a kind of long stretch, and you curve down. They got one side's like practically a drop off, and the other side has got an embankment going up with a little V ditch in it. And my mom just was driving, and then she just passed out, where her brain shut off, which when you're really tired and you're not getting enough sleep and everything and all the stress, because my dad still was in the hospital, and all the time they're driving back from there and she's doing all the chores, you know, that he sort of used to help out with. And my brother does some of the chores, but he doesn't do any of the milking, because they still got milkers. But, and yeah, it smells like Old Spice. Oh, driving along, she's at the wheel, and my brother, who's riding along, just started freaking out because they're going off into the ditch. I guess he's just freaking out. Instead of being a man, he's never had a driver's license. 35 freaking years old, and he doesn't have a damn driver's license. What kind of pathetic piece of... It's a sore point in our family. All right, just leave it at that. And she wakes up just as they're bouncing through the ditch. My brother, who went to the wreck site, he's the one that provided some of the photos and stuff that I've shared here. And he said that it was at least 100 yards where they were driving through the low ditch. She must have woke something like, I think she said, woke up and then goes, overcorrects in the gravel, getting back up, and overcorrects and shoots across the road. And smashes right into a tree, oak tree, or big oak trees, big oak tree. You look in the picture, you can see it, but and bounced off it, rolled, and then smashed into another oak tree that was down below and deep in the ravine. And they hit the one tree so hard on the second tree and ripped the bed right off the truck. Just tore it completely off, basically. And my the impact underneath caved the cab down inside, down. So my mom got trapped. Her leg was stuck inside the cab, down below, pinned. Couldn't get it out. And she was saying that, at this time my mom was conscious, like ow type of thing. She said, I was in pain, I hurt, and I was like assessing the situation. I was trying to see if anything was broke. She didn't think anything was broke, but she was in lots of pain from being bounced around and banged up. Having the airbag go off in your face, exploding, So she cracked her sternum on the when they hit the tree the first time in the front right quarter panel. You can see the damage where it just caved everything in. And airbag goes off, and between the seat belt and the airbag smacking her in the chest, because she's a short, she's only like 5'2". And so she's right up on the steering wheel. So when the airbag deployed, the closer you are, the more the airbag you're going to get hit with. So it just piled right into her chest and cracked her sternum, I guess. So she's got chest pain from that. And then she has some cuts and stuff on her leg, for where her leg got pinned in. But man, pretty smooth down here. Just got some growth that needs to come off there. Oh boy, fun. And so they're on their side. It's like the truck's laying on the driver's side, all caved in and smoking and everything. And my brother, I guess, freaks out and tries to climb out of the vehicle. Instead of a smart thing, I would just say, like, I just get down and just kick out the front windshield and then climb out that way. No, he decides to go out the freaking door that's up above him, and he's standing on my mom while he's trying to get out. And boy, talk about a bunch of pissed off brothers for that one. You did what? And then you just give them all kinds of options. I was just trying to get out. I think the vehicle's going to be on fire. I was just trying to escape. And like, breathe. Do not stick the shaving cream up your nose. But yeah, so was that. And he climbs out, and it's like, we're lucky enough that I had a couple of the neighbors that were putting up their deer stand, because it's getting close to early bow season, or black powder season starts in October, 1st of October. So they were setting up their stands and all their wonderful stuff, and they heard a crunch and bang. So they went and investigated, and they're side by side, and they came up on the accident. And one was a volunteer fireman, so he was like climbed right down in there and kicked the windshield out, so he could have easy access in and out, and to help out. And the other one, you don't get cell service from the location that they're in, so you have to get up to the top of the valley so he got in a side by side and got up and called the ambulance, the emergency services, and got them to come. And then they had to proceed to cut her out of the vehicle to get her extracted. But oh, they were lucky. Had a couple individuals that were kept her a level head. And then she got airlifted to the hospital that's an hour away. And then in the fun part happened, they didn't have her listed under her name. So we're like, we called the hospitals up there, because there's 2 hospitals. Like, well, we have no record of that. So we called the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, and that was like an hour and a half away. And he's like, no, we have no record. So we called every hospital. And I was like, no, we have no record. I was like, what the hell? And eventually we called again, like trying to double check. And it's like, oh yeah, it's like, were they it's like, my mom was airlifted to a hospital. We think it's this hospital. Yes. Could you verify the name? It's like, gave the name, and then it's like, okay, she's conscious and said that's her name. So yes, that she's here. Like, what the hell? But they did a CT scan and x-rays. And so she has compression fractures in her spine, cracked sternum, and a bunch of cuts and bruises. But otherwise, not bad. So my brothers ran up, and 3 of my brothers and my niece went up there Saturday morning after I got all the information and everything and passed it on to them. They said, yeah, we're going up. And we had the wedding we had to go to. And I talked and said, yes. My mom was like, go to the wedding. Like, I'm fine. You got your brothers coming. We need some representation at the wedding. I'm glad I went, because that was just me. It's like me and my wife. That was it, And they appreciated it. At least somebody. And then my uncle was there, or my mom's brother, he's getting Alzheimer's, but he's lucid most of the time. But every once in a while you can see his brain just goes. He checks out. His brain is like, dude. I was talking with him, and he was like, really, he was worried. My dad was worried about the whole thing. And that was the other thing. I call up my dad, and he said, have you heard anything from the hospital? And I said, no, they're going to be possibly releasing me this weekend. I was like, no, about mom. He was like, what? No, I don't know anything. No one bothered to let my dad know that my mom was in a car accident. So I let him know, and then next thing I'm playing phone tag with the hospitals, talking to my dad. Every time I get an update. Eventually I got an update about my brother. Broke his foot. And he's like, okay, he's fine, right? And it's like, yeah, your son is fine. And he's like, okay, I'm not worried about him now. Like, he's more worried about his wife, my mom. Which just stands to reason, They've been together since they've been 61 years now. So I played phone tag. Eventually I got a hold of mom, who told me to go to the wedding the next day, so I did. And got my dad all squared away. I gave the nurses at his floor all the contact information so they could dial everything for him so he could get a hold of him. The nurses were even calling around trying to find out where she was. They were like, because he was freaking out with anxiety, which stands to reason. I was like, you're in a hospital, there's nothing you can do but sit there and take it. But so my dad, he did get released on Saturday, and the doctor and the nurse is like, yeah, we're going to release you today so you can go and spend time with your wife in the hospital. So my brothers picked him up and brought him over to the hospital so he could spend some time with her. And he was actually happy to be home. But he was healed up. He still's got a lot of chest pain, but he's got a start of congested heart failure, so that's not a good deal. Oh. It's that freaking shoulder. And other news, it was like I did mention that something was coming this coming weekend. I'm going to Vegas, baby. Yeah. I don't know if anybody here in the States has heard of the iHeart Radio Music Festival. Well, I won the contest and won a free trip to Vegas. So I'm going to go to Vegas and see the show. So they're flying me there with all... So they're paying my way to the airport. From the airport, flying to Vegas, flying back, and then back home from the airport. What the hell? I'm gonna look forward to it. I've really been to Vegas a few times. I'm more interested in just going to the concert, the show. It's 2 nights, Friday and Saturday night, and I could fly back on Sunday. Ooh. Doorbell. I'll be right back. Well, I'm back. Okay. It was elder from the church. Stopped in, is like asking how my mom was doing and, if I needed anything. So, spent a little bit of time chatting with them. They were concerned, it's like they seen my post on Facebook and came over to see how I was doing. All right, so we're going to be doing the Old Spice original. Follow us up right here. Smells good. All right, so there we go. He's like, walks in and he goes, "Oh, you were shaving." I'm like, "Yeah, I was just in there shaving." Add a little bit of balm to the face. My face got a little dried out standing there talking. Yeah, as I say, my dad's home. My mom came home from the hospital late yesterday afternoon. Really sore. She's waddling around, basically, sitting downstairs. Can't climb the stairs. Neither can my dad, for that matter. But now it's like my son will have to take care of them doing everything. So it is what it is, I guess. All right. Okay. Oh, down below is the affiliate link from the razor company. So if you need anything from the razor company, click on the affiliate link, order something, and I'll get a little kickback. And when it reaches a certain point, we'll do a giveaway for the channel. So there we go. Oh, that was a shave of the day, everybody. Brought to you by Old Spice cream from India. Works really good. Creates a lot of lather. And then we had the Astra blades first use with the 1960 Gillette Fatboy. My dad's razor. Still working good. Still getting the job done. Happy, happy. There you go. All up with some original Old Spice. Yeah. Good stuff. All right. That's it. That's the shave of the day, everybody. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Rusty out.